Hello, welcome to Talking Rubbish Recycle Content, where we recycle the most useful bits of the weekly podcast. Join us as we discuss the process of recycling our waste. Are certain items rubbish or not? And we get to answer weekly listener questions. I'm James Piper, author of The Rubbish Book, and I'm joined by Robbie Staniforth, my far from rubbish friend. Asbestos. And this comes from a message from James on our website, so thank you very much, James. He did not reference it as a rubbish or not. You know, he had actually a story to tell us about asbestos, which I'm going to come on to.
Okay.
But it's pretty easy to turn it into a rubbish or not and probably sets us up for the story. So, Robbie, before we get into the detail, asbestos, rubbish or not?
Can I possibly get this wrong? It is definitely not recyclable. Do not put it in your recycling at home. Now, that does make me think, what should you actually do with it? Because whenever anyone mentions asbestos, all I ever hear is, don't disturb it. Get professionals out. Don't touch it. Don't even look at it. I must say, I don't know exactly what one should be doing with it because it's very, very hazardous when you move it. So I presume specialist people need to be disposing of this stuff.
Yeah, although sometimes you come across it in your everyday life. Well, we had a new roof put on our house and the roofers were not great. And a tile fell off quite early on after they'd finished. So anyway, got it fixed, got it repaired. Then I noticed another tile on the floor. I went to pick it up and I thought, that's asbestos. That's not come from my roof. And to this day, I still don't know how it got there. But there is this little tile, or there was this little tile of asbestos in my garden. And I had it checked, actually, because we were doing some more building works. We had a person came over to do an asbestos survey, and he said, yep, you've got some asbestos in your garden. Just randomly appeared. So double bagged it and took it to the local recycling centre. So there are times in your life where you will have to deal with asbestos yourself. And the best thing to do is to use gloves and masks and always make sure you double bag. And then make sure you put the gloves and the mask in the bag as well. And you want to be sealing that up because this stuff can be extremely dangerous if disturbed. So it shouldn't go in your general bin. It shouldn't go in your recycling bin. It should go back to a recycling centre where they will have an asbestos bin for it. Now, this is one of those that it's a hazardous substance, so you're not really allowed to transport it because you need to be a hazardous waste carrier to transport that sort of stuff. So the way they deal with that is, and we talked about it a little bit on a previous episode, it's not considered hazardous till you arrive at the recycling centre. So it's sort of you crossing the threshold of I'm in the recycling centre, but it then becomes hazardous as you hand it over. And so what most councils want you to do is ring the recycling centre first to say, do you have space in your asbestos bin? Because if you arrive and then leave with it, that is bad. They don't want you to have to do that. The best thing to do, check your council website, but most council websites will say, ring us first, make sure we've got some space in the bin, make sure you've double bagged it, you've used gloves, masks. And this is assuming you found some asbestos somewhere, that you wanted to deal with. This isn't like my house has lots of asbestos in. Don't deal with that yourself. Get a professional out for that. But if, like me, you've just found some in your garden, which is what happened to me, or maybe you've come across some in a litter pick or something like that, you can obviously report it to the council, definitely. But if you wanted to deal with it yourself, that is how you would manage it. So this leads us into Dunelm, which is the story that James has shared with us. And they lead our new feature called Nonsensical Corporate Behaviour of the Week. Because what they have done is identified that doorstops sold between 2019 and 2026 might contain asbestos. So these doorstops have sand in them, and in that sand there might be asbestos.
Oh, that's what the weight of the doorstop comes from. It's like filled with sand.
And these doorstops are shaped like animals. Things like, what were they named? Like Hamish the Toxic Cow. No, that can't be right. Hamish the Highland Cow. And on the recall part of their website, if you go to their website, there's a recall page. If you look at that, they say these doorstops could contain asbestos. So here's the advice they give. If the product is undamaged, place it in a heavy-duty plastic bag and double tape. If the product is damaged, gather the sand using wet cloths. Now, this is the advice normally. Use wet cloths to stop dust coming up. Wear gloves and a mask. Double bag the sand in a heavy-duty plastic bag, double tape, and seal it with the gloves, mask, and cloths inside. So far, so good.
Okay, that sounds similar to what you were saying earlier.
Yep. Next point, dispose of the sealed bag in your general household waste bin.
Oh, dear.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So I've got their phone number. They've said, call us if you've got any questions about this. Well, I have lots of questions. Dunelm, you're about to hear from me. Thank you so much for listening to Talking Rubbish Recycled Content. Remember to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, leave us a review, and follow us on social media where we are at Rubbish Podcast. These clips come from the weekly show, which you can find by just searching for Talking Rubbish. Special thanks to our sponsor EcoSurety and all of you for taking the time to support us in our mission to help everyone to recycle better. There is nothing left for me to say other than see you next bin day. Bye.
Bye.